ready, then you can make sure you're positioned properly with your knees apart, hands directly underneath the shoulders. And then we'll do our arch. So arching up and then coming down to neutral spine, dipping, sticking the bottom up, looking up. So that's one version you can do. But if you want to do something a bit different, which works the back in the same way, you can arch back and then, hang on, the knees need to be further back for this, I think. Arching the back and then just coming into a high cobra, so that instead of dipping the bottom up, you're just curling the upper body up and the hips go down towards the mat. Okay, so then push back into a curled back, almost as if you're pushing into child's pose, but not quite. And then just bringing the hips down towards the floor, but not touching, and looking up. If that is too much, please just stick to cat-cow on your knees. I love this. And if you wanted to position your feet into a child's pose position, which would be knees wide, feet wall together, that's fine as well. So then you can push all the way back and then come up. Might not be so easy to do the cobra part though, so just listen to your body. Don't push forward in that position if your hips won't allow. Okay, so if you need a quick twizzle of the wrists before we carry on, that's fine. We're going to do leg coming back, opposite arm lifted. And then the add-on today is to do 4 crunches, so elbow coming into the knee. Remember, it's like an upside down ab curl cross, so you really contract underneath in the core. Don't lift the leg too high, think more about lengthening from the toe right through up into the middle finger. Keeping the back as straight as possible as you do them. So anything up to 4. And then come up onto your knees and just rotate your wrists before we do the other side. Give them a shake. Okay, so back into position. Lifting the pelvic floor, core switched on, that keeps your back flat. Opposite leg this time. And lift, not too high. Opposite arm lift. If crosses are too much, stay like that, otherwise underneath we go, squeezing opposite rib to hip again. Up to 4. Bring the arm down, bring the knee down, and just push back. Either with your knees wide or slightly closer together, and just have the arms down by your side, palms up, and take a breath there. And again, another big breath. Right, we're going to come back up, we're going to walk forward, and we're going to finish off the lesson with a hold or a plank. And I might do a little bit of a quad stretch as well with a leg kick. We'll do that afterwards. All right, so on your elbows, nice and tall from the shoulders, feet hip width apart. You know the drill. Pelvic floor up to start with. Your core is switched on. That naturally makes you want to lift your hips up, and then you do a little tuck under just to give yourself extra support. And we're holding. If you're on your knees, the add-on today would be to shift your weight over to one side. So I'm going to shift it towards my left side. And then with my right hand, I'm going to see if I can move it. Okay, either just a little bit of movement or all the way maybe to the side. And then back. And then bring the elbow down. Bring the weight to centre. And then you go over to the right. Seeing if you can lift the left hand. Bring it back down, centre, and you may need to rest at that point, okay? Or if you're doing the full version with the knees up, same thing, you bring the knees up, push back into the heels, make sure the back is nice and strong. You don't have just the core tense for this move. I have everything. My legs, my back, my arms, they're all working hard to keep this position, make it a solid position. I'm going to shift to the left, lift my right arm, either all the way round or just a little bit, come back down. So try 2 or 3 attempts if you can. Alright, take a rest if you need to down in your hands. We're going to have the finale in a second. So the finale would be, I'm going to show it in two different ways. One on your knees, one with your knees up. So we're lifting, shifting weight to left. If you can get your arm all the way to the right, you're then just going to twist to sort of face the camera as I am in this instance, and just lifting my top knee up. So that's kind of like a little bit of a side plank. Knee down and weight back to centre. So I'll say that again. So you go then over to your right, the left hand comes to the front, you lift that top knee, bring the knee down and weight back to centre. Okay, so that's a nice way of starting to learn the side plank. If you're going to do the full versions, the last one now, if you've had enough, just do a little hold if you can, otherwise rest. So full version, same thing, over to the left, bring the arm round, and then the feet twist to face. Lovely. You can either keep that arm down, see if you can lift it. Fantastic, it's such a sense of achievement doing this. And then twist round, arm down. It needs to be done really slowly so you don't fling yourself on your back. Over to the right this time, one thing at a time, bring the hand round, twist the feet to the front, and then see if you can lift that arm nice and slowly. And then coming back and collapsing. Head on your hands, lovely jubbly. Let's do our leg kicks in this position. So it's nice and gentle on the back. So just doing a kick, stretch of the leg. Lovely way to stretch the quads. Push the pubic bone into the mat as you stretch the leg and just hover the knee. One more each side. And just rest the legs down. Now tuck the pelvis right under so you feel the spine lengthening, lovely stretch through the lower back, and then relax it. And again, tuck right under and relax, wiggling the bottom side to side. And rolling onto your side. Both legs bent. Get hold of this top one, bring it back. If that's enough to get that quad stretch a little bit more, that's fine, or grab hold of the ankle. And leave it there for a second or two. Okay, let go of the leg, bring the arm up and do a really big stretch. Bring the leg back. Just open that top knee, not to do a clam, but just to stretch those inner thighs, even if you roll back a little bit. And bring the knee down. You can keep the arm where it is, or you can bring it forward. We're just going to do that circle where we come up and then we go back and let both shoulder blades touch the mat, so it probably is more comfortable with the arm to the side. And then roll back round. And then bring the arm down. Roll so both shoulder blades touch the mat. And back over. Fantastic. Straightening the legs, giving a really big stretch. And then just roll onto your front again. Now doesn't matter if you have your back to me. I want this to be just a nice stretch so you don't have to get up and turn over, but I will because of the camera. So with your head on your hands again, we're going to do the quad stretch in this position. So your other leg is going to come back this time and either push the hip into the mat or grab hold of the ankle or both. Keep it there for a second or two more and let go. You're going to come up into a cobra, hands are forwards and wide. You're going to start curling up through the lower back. I almost come right up to just below my rib cage, then use the hands to push you up and come back down. And as we always do with Cobra, you can play around with your hand positioning to see how far you want to curl up. Last time. So you're going to roll onto your side. Don't worry if you've got your back to me, you don't need to be facing. I'm just going to do it the other way. We've done the quad stretch, so I just want you to stretch the arm and the leg. So lifting the leg, lift the arm, really, really stretch them. Your bottom knee is bent. And then bend the top knee on top of the bottom one. If you need to reposition your arms so it's facing forward, please do. We're going to get the top arm above the bottom arm, circle all the way up, both shoulder blades on the mat, round down towards the leg and bring the arm forward and reverse. So arm comes down and around, round to the front. Lovely, just staying there. Okay, keep the feet together, open the knees. If you need to roll backwards a little bit to feel the stretch in your inner thighs, that's fine. And then closing them. Stretch the leg long again, stretch the arm long. And bend. Okay, we're going to come onto all fours, so just turning upside down. Arching the back, push the shoulders down the spine. And then dip and look up. Come back to flat back, circle around with the pelvis above the knees, so tucking under and sticking your bottom up. Other way. And let's do a big one then. Let's circle back towards the heels and out to the side, stop above the hands and reverse. Bring the arm out to the side, feed it through the gap, bring the shoulder down onto the mat. Stay there for a deep breath. Bring it back through, switching to the other side. Feeding it through. Coming back up. Sitting on your bottom. Arms long and just let the wrists droop down and back to straight. And again. Rotate them. Relax the shoulders. Bring them back. Get some movement in the elbows and then in the shoulders. Round the upper back. Squeeze the arms back, squeeze those shoulder blades. If you want to clasp your fingers and squeeze them even more. Whew, feels nice. Bring the hands back onto your knees. You can be seated however you want to be. Let's finish with the neck. So let's do a twist side to side. But maybe just pause when you get there, not overstretching. And then nodding up and down. Just pausing there before you switch. Have the shoulders right down and back. Tip the ear down to one shoulder. Back up to centre on the other side. And then we'll finish with a tennis ball sized circle of the head. Okay, so nice and small. And the other way. And there we are, well done. Gosh, just as it's really starting to heat up. So I need to get my little tool.